Bang, looking to come in. Here comes your initiation. There is through.
Oh my God!
Xpeke Shockwave will find them all.
Odds are you've seen this play before. In a desperate situation, down a mountain of gold against Chinese powerhouse EDG, SKT are searching for anything to flip the game on its head. Fortunately, Faker is on Orianna. Since her release in 2011, Orianna Shockwave has become the most iconic ultimate in all of esports. A single command that has saved games, blown minds, and defined careers.
That was the most insane engage I've ever seen!
From early Alistar and Amumu combos, to mouthbite delivery systems and modern knockwaves, no ability has shaped competitive League more than Shockwave. We're Esports Garage, and today we're going back through time to revisit the most impactful Shockwaves ever pulled off on the biggest stages.
But before we get to Faker's legendary Shockwave, we need to talk about League's first great Orianna ultimate, and for that, we're breaking out the chessboard. Back in the early seasons of League, there was no LP system, no divisions. Your skill was measured by a single number, Elo, a rating system originally developed for chess. With Elo, there was no ceiling. In theory, you could keep climbing forever, but the higher you climbed, the harder it got, making it almost impossible to truly separate yourself from everyone else. Almost impossible. Enter Lord. On September 19th, 2012, at just 18 years old, the Control Mage Specialist became the first and only player to ever cross 3,000 Elo. His climb turned into a community obsession, with streams blowing up and Reddit threads tracking every milestone in real time. And yes, he loved Orianna, but solo queue dominance doesn't guarantee pro success. In summer 2013, Lord and Team Alternate were fighting for their EU LCS lives in a promotion series against Giants Gaming. After clawing back from 0-2, the series went to a deciding Game 5. 51 minutes in, Alternate were down 11,000 gold, and Lord was caught away from his team. With no hard engage and no margin for error, the game came down to one spell. So what does a Shockwave from the highest ranked player in the world look like? Something like this.
Very brave. It's going to be Aranoid that's going to pay for it with his life. He goes down. There's going to be ultimate. It's a great ultimate. Jerry gets caught down. This Shockwave catches all 5 members of Giants there. Beautifully done. Jimbo's gets dropped. He's going to respawn. He's going to turn back around. He's firing off the arrows just like you can. Lord picks up the double kill. He's still in this one. He's going to turn it back around. It's a triple kill for Lord. Samox now is going to have Creator coming in. Another ball goes in. Will he be able to take it down? Creator picks up the kill. And that was a 4-for-3 to Alternate.
That's checkmate. A perfect Shockwave equalizer flips the fight instantly, and Alternate close out the game just minutes later. A 5-man Orianna ultimate to complete a reverse sweep and qualify for the EU LCS? Nobody had ever seen anything like it, and the play was forever dubbed the 3000 Elo Shockwave. Lord would step away from pro play not long after, but the moment stuck. It showed for the first time just how game-breaking Orianna could be at the highest level. To this day, fans still attach Elo values to massive Shockwaves because this was the play that set the standard for all Orianna Shockwaves to follow.
But for Lord, the Elo King coming up big for his team.
Coming up big, I think, is an understatement.
Yes.
4 years after winning the Season 1 World Championship with Fnatic, Xpeke went from franchise star to team founder. Alongside fellow Fnatic veteran Soaz, he founded his own team, Origin. Against all odds, they qualified for the EU LCS in summer 2015, made a miracle run to the finals, and secured a spot at Worlds, where their draw was absolutely brutal.
Origin, I don't see much hope against LGD and KT Rolster, but maybe they can pull an upset.
LGD were the runaway favorites to win the group and the entire tournament, really. Led by defending world champion Imp and Godv, the most hyped mid laner in the LPL, they were expected to cruise through the group stage, starting with Origin in their very first match. Except the expected stomp never came. At 34 minutes in, the gold is dead even. LGD fake a Baron start, so Origin call their bluff and push mid. Acorn TP's in, threatening a flank, and Origin need to make a fight or flight decision right now. And they choose fight.
Okay, Amazing takes a lot of damage. Soaz trying to get to the backline. He did get hit by Emo playing. Xpeke is okay. Big old Shockwave. That Shockwave does work though. Oh, and the wild growth. It keeps him alive. Xpeke gets a solo kill.
LGD were so tunneled on chasing Sven that they lost track of the ball. Origin took advantage, and Xpeke punished LGD with a 4-man Fates Call Shockwave combo that I don't think we've ever seen the likes of since. And in true Xpeke fashion, Origin would win this game off a super weird Vladimir backdoor. LGD would crash, burn, and fail to make it out of groups, while Origin would make a run all the way to the semifinals. This game is a reminder that at Worlds, expectations don't win games, plays do.
And Origin beat LGD!
It's day 2 of World's 2017 group stage, and SKT are chasing a 3rd consecutive World Championship. Before they even think about the finals though, they have to face the LPL #1 seed EDG, and it is not going well. As the game nears the 30-minute mark, SKT are down 10,000 gold with Faker completely shut down. As EDG march towards their 2nd game-winning Baron, SKT know they can't afford to roll over. So instead of slowly bleeding out, SKT choose to take a stand. And as they say, the rest is history.
They're saving the Drake round. They got two already. Bang is hiding. He's coming.
Bang looking to come in. Here comes your initiation. They're right through.
Oh my God.
Elo Shockwave will find them all. And SKT, with a hell of a response, will take down 4.
This is one of the most iconic Faker moments of all time. Arguably, it's the most iconic Orianna ultimate of all time. But Faker didn't do it alone. As SKT dips into the fog of war, they allow EDG to claim mid-prio, baiting them into thinking they've backed off and won't be contesting the river. EDG takes the bait and goes for the minion wave as Faker, Peanut, Wolf, and an invisible Bang flank while Huni charges straight at their face. EDG sees the trap closing and kites back, but not fast enough to avoid a 4-man charm into Shockwave from Wolf and Faker that turns the game in a split second. So while Faker Shockwave did find them all, it found them thanks to an unparalleled feat of teamwork from the rest of SKT in what's probably the greatest Wombo combo in League of Legends history. This play ticks every box. It's beautiful, it's the complete package. But here's the thing, this isn't even Faker's best Shockwave. KT Rolster have built a roster with one purpose, to end the SKT dynasty. A new era of the telecom war has arrived, and the first series of the year between these two teams will set the tone for what comes next. In Game 2, despite a 1-0 series lead, SKT are way behind.
Yes, it is. The Ash Arrow comes out, locks up Wolf. He's going to go down. 3 members of SK Telecom just get ripped right off of Summoner's Rift by KT Rolster.
At 24 minutes, KT secures an early Baron and stretches the gold lead to 11,000. As they set their sights on Huni, a familiar feeling starts to creep in. After all, this is KT's game to lose.
Faker has been out of position because it's very hard to have position, and we hear an ultimate popped and we see a turn.
Yeah, Dredgeline coming through. Big
equalizer!
Big Shockwave comes through. Faker just absolutely devastates the ranks of KT Rolster. A triple kill for him. Pawn trying to get out with his life. But
as we saw in full color a few minutes ago, typically when SKT set up a play, it's a meticulous surgical maneuver. That does not happen here. But in true Faker fashion, he sees an angle no one else does. He flash ults over the wall, straight out of Fog of War, which turns KT's victory march into a massacre.
So is this Faker's greatest, most impactful Shockwave on the highest stage? No, that's the EDG play all day. But it sure is his coolest one, and one that reminds us, even in the chaos, the GOAT has game sense like no one else, and is absolutely deserving of the 4,000 Elo Shockwave moniker coined by Papa Smithy.
That right there is the 4,000 Elo Shockwave. That is why Faker is the ultimate game breaker.
So what do you think? Style or substance? Let us know which Faker Shockwave is your favorite in the comments below.
You might think we just saw the peak, but 7 years after Faker's miracle, another team looked at that 11,000 gold comeback and went even bigger. It's the grand finals of the 2024 Mid-Season Invitational, and BLG are getting obliterated on home turf.
Looking for another hook angle, trying to find the ball, but he gets on! He actually cannot miss! It was not the call they needed. Purple worm for Gen G. Triple kill for Pays in the midst of it all.
Already down a game, the 13,000 gold deficit adds insult to injury. Gen G are knocking on the door of the final inhibitor, and a BLG comeback feels impossible.
BLG doing what they can to hold on to the base here.
Then, Canyon whiffs a Glacial Prism, forcing Gen G to back off, and BLG give chase.
Canyon fishing for the angle, the ulti not going to connect. Chovy trying to time the Q3, but it doesn't hit.
They need a miracle, so Bin and Knight start praying.
A lot of effect, however. They'll pop in, delivered, Knight, clutch, but Chovy wants to turn it back midfield, is only going to shut down. He completely whiffs.
That was the most insane engage I've ever seen.
Applauds exactly, Pedro. While Knight's flash shockwave was perfectly timed, the real hero of this play is Bin. Bin Camille hookshots forward and flashes directly onto Pays Callista, not just positioning the ball for a 4-man shockwave, but crucially burning Pays' spell shield. If Bin misses that, Pays walks out of the shockwave scot-free, and the fight becomes dramatically harder for BLG to win.
The Camille plus Shockwave combination celebration we've been dreaming of!
The cool thing about Orianna is that she's a great measuring stick for League of Legends. She almost never receives anything beyond a few numbers tweaks, yet she remains one of the most popular mid laners year after year. Great in 2012, great in 2018, and still great today.
Zinni just saved him, and the shockwave across everybody!
Ori's endless flexibility is why incredible combos like this keep happening, and why combos like the Knockwave remain staples of modern pro play. While this play didn't win them the game or the series, it did give us one of the most impressive displays of coordination League of Legends has ever seen. But is this the best modern Shockwave?
For the first time since the 2025 MSI Grand Finals, Chovy and Gen G face Faker and T1 once again. This matchup has become a modern-day classic, one of the most anticipated series of the year outside of Worlds, the only tournament that Chovy hasn't won. And while Faker owns the World Championship, for the past several years, the LCK has belonged to Chovy. It feels like every year Gen G sets some new record for domestic dominance, and this game is no exception. They come in with a perfect 19-0 regular season record and haven't lost a best-of series, domestic or international, in over 5 months. In the latest clash against their LCK rivals, Gen G are firmly in the driver's seat when this happens.
And T1 now without that big tool. The needlework's coming out there. The Pop Blossom is going to connect on a new Shockwave onto 4 people! Oh no! 5, my god, the Cyclone, and they all explode! It is over! As Gen G, they'll take a celebratory dragon, and oh god, T1, that is not where you want it to be!
In the latest clash against their LCK rivals, Gen G are firmly in the driver's seat, but we all know better than to count out T1. The enemy team thinks they've got a pick on the top laner, only to find themselves in the crosshairs of an Orianna lurking on the other side of a wall. I gotta say, this might be the cleanest looking Shockwave combo of all time. The Bard ult alone racks up absurd style points. Add the perfectly timed Shockwave and the synchronized Otacon execute, and it starts to look less like a pro match and more like a scripted TikTok highlight.
That's a mad movie right there, baby! That's what that was! That was a 5-man Shockwave!
Chovy and Gen G wrap up this game flawlessly in 30 minutes flat. A well-oiled, unstoppable machine that would go on to win the series and... Wait, they lost the next 2 games? But at least they won Worlds, right? Right? It's NA versus EU. Are they really gonna make us relive this? FlyQuest and G2 battle for a spot in the Worlds 2025 quarterfinal. Heading into the match, it felt like for once, NA might actually have the upper hand. FlyQuest had already 3-0'd G2 at MSI, and Europe hadn't made it out of Swiss since the format was introduced in 2023. Surely this was NA's game, but none of that matters anymore. With the series tied 1-1 and the gold lead dead even after a FlyQuest Baron, the next fight will decide who goes to top 8 and who goes to the airport. If you're a North American fan, please avert your eyes.
We're right into another team fight as now Wombo having to use that Q to try and get his health bar back, but Hans Summer's just going to shut him down. The Deadly Flourish as well is trying to work out, but Broken Blade stays alive. The Emperor's Divide is gigantic, and BB will go down. The Azir is taken as well, and G2 straight out of the replay, straight putting FlyQuest into the death chamber.
I'll admit the Dr. Mundo ball delivery service was not on my Worlds bingo card, but this play is an amazing display of patience. Caps waits for Fly to commit on a Broken Blade before pressing R, and Skewmon holds his flash until just before the wind-up animation is over, giving FlyQuest almost no time to react. Let's check the setup.
Look on the extend, we're coming. Yeah, I will make time on Azir. Yeah, I will, we can help you, Yeah, I will Mundo Ian, you look so flash. Oh! Nice! Finish, kill.
Caps, the Western GOAT, finds the Shockwave to take down FlyQuest.
And with that, a vintage bit of Caps magic sends G2 Esports to the top 8 at Worlds and FlyQuest to the Shadow Realm. The beautiful thing about this play is that G2 weren't running some crazy engage comp here. They made this play happen with pure instinct and ingenuity, proving once and for all that no matter the situation, no matter the stakes, and no matter the gold lead, with Orianna's legendary ultimate, some creativity, and a little hopium, there's always a chance.
Are you kidding me?
Where's the Shockwave? It's only one person. There it is, the 4-man Wombo combo.
They are going to find him now. The Shockwave flash! Oh my God! KT, Shockwave, a shutdown. They're looking to kill absolutely everybody.
Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Pastry Time, that's Manny. If you want to watch us break down even more LoL Esports history, check us out at the Esports Garage on YouTube.
And if you want to see more stuff like this on the LoL Esports YouTube channel, let us know down in the comments and subscribe so you don't miss future episodes.